Greetings, fellow cluster crashers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the first Wendigo, episode 137, Centipede Minion. So I just dropped all the stuff that was on her behind the walls so that someone else can carry it. Ooh, another silver site, right at our entry gate. I guess I'll put this over yonder in a second. He's gonna be really pissed when he goes back to the Glitterworld Empire? Yeah, no kidding. He's gonna be real pissed. Back to the way things were when they were worse. Alright, we are good to go. Mess with this cluster. So I'll turn red, call aid, a salvo. I'll drop the salvo here, and let's skedaddle. Oh, that's awkward. They just so happen to land perfectly into my mining shack. I mean, it's not a mining shack that I'm likely to use again, because that mining shack is steel, and I don't really need that much steel. But very strange that it would hit like that. Alright, don't fire at will. And Wendy's out here just to soften them up a little bit. So there's not a lot of mechs. This cluster is mostly dangerous because of the amount it prints, not the amount it had. So as long as I can clear out the printer, it's not going to be too bad. And I think the way to handle this cluster is to probably Insanity Lance the healthy blasters that are back there. And Brazit, this is going to land to you. Oh, no, but you can't use lances. Never mind, it's going to be Wendy task yet again. Everything lands on Wendy. Whoa, Lancer, don't shoot at me. You know what? That's so rude. Don't even aim at me. Don't even look my way. Okay, T saying made a masterwork. So, them's the prediction. Wow, it was a clean 50-50. But now you know. Just a masterwork. Roof collapse. Yep, so the roof collapsed, the unstable power cell went poof, and the whole thing went poof. Somehow the drill survived, but it's about to get shredded next, which is fine. Wendy, you wouldn't mind a little lavish meal, tea, and a beer break, and then we'll go back on the rampage. Now I've got so many genetic experiments here for the very purpose of clearing out mechs easily, so I'm going to use them using my vat-grown experiments. What I really want to do is I want to Insanity Lance this blaster and then send the blaster into this cluster, because this cluster only has 2 auto-charge turrets, or 3 auto-charge turrets. Most of it is Inferno turrets. I know, I guess there's 2 over here, but most of it is still Inferno turrets, which won't do anything to a blaster, and the blaster can just dismantle the cluster for me. It's been super long since I've used my own mechs. Yeah, because they're not necessary. They're sort of like backup safeguards, but they do have a cost, right? They have a cost in repair time, they have a cost on recharge, pollution. So they're not free, and that's why I don't use them that often. I use them when I need them. And I definitely don't need them right now. All right, Wendy, you're good to go. So I'm going to blast you and you. And then this one I'm going to send to go on a merry little trip over to clear the cluster a bit. Well, my brawlers earn their meat. I feed them human meat, but the cost of me feeding them human meat is that they have to fight for me when I want them to. All right, that's probably close enough to the cluster to trigger them that centipede to fight. They're absolutely getting wrecked here. It's glorious. When do you come back inside? And this centipede is doing exactly what I wanted to. It's just blowing up the cluster for me. Perfect. Some bleeds here, but nothing I'm super concerned about. Turn those off. All right, the healthy brawlers are going to stick around. The bleeding brawlers are going to go get patched up by Low, who's going to meet them there. Have I made a perfect specimen? I wouldn't be streaming this if I had. The win condition is make a perfect specimen, so as soon as it's met, the series ends. Thank you, my Trojan blaster. What a tactic. I even turned the slug turrets off because I'll just, for the remaining pikemen, I'll just kill them with my melees, and then I'll turn them on for the blasters again. No, if you're wondering about the specimen, he's right here. Exactly. That's a better answer. I wish I had given that one. But El Crabs, you are correct. All right, Jack's already healed. That was quick. Medetta, are you patched? No. Oh, it's trying to shoot Violet. Fine, I will get aggressive then. Alright, that's good enough. Turret's on. So the remainder of this mech cluster is just a matter of either letting this Centipede blaster do the work for me, or to get up there with some smokes and to clear it out. I might have Bryzit go do this smoke thing again. Well, it was pretty effective last time I did it. I liked it. Cheers. All right, these guys are all off duty. Every single mech that I was fighting is now dead. And then all that's left is this Centipede. You know, I'll just let the Centipede do its thing. Because it's working, it's automated, right? I'm not even doing anything. It's just blowing up its cluster for me. It will start to print new ones in about a day. So I'll wait to see how much is even left for me to deal with. But I'm in no rush. A little annoying about the unstable power cell, but whatever. God. I love this strategy. Send one of the blasters in and just have it blow up everything for me. It's so easy. Visitors. This is probably a bad time to visit me. Whatever. As long as it doesn't get killed. Guess I'm fine with it. Oh, we have a big egg harvest. I'm going to have to do some more breeding soon. Hey, this, you're, all right, there we go. She is ready to go back into the Neanderthal prison. So Wendy, come arrest her, because we can take her eggs. So I was growing her in the growth vat, so that she hit 16, so I could extract ovum. Because we captured her at 13, which is too young. So now she is of age. It's doing a really good job. I don't think it's going to be able to clear all of the printers in time, but it might. Where'd I put her? Oh, I put her here. If I medical these beds. And forbid all the others, I'll bring her to where she belongs. There we go. Done. And it is doing a really good job. So this will make Scythers, Blaster. So the Blaster versus Blaster obviously is going to come out bad. But I don't know. This thing might be able to clear out the entire cluster for me, leaving me only one Centipede Blaster left to deal with. And all that took was a few leaps, a few skips, and one lance charge. It's clearing the whole thing for me. The only turrets left are mini turrets, too. So all the dangerous turrets, the Inferno ones, which would be really dangerous to Wendy because she's tinder-skinned, have been blown up. Alright, it's time to send my brawlers in. Oh, we got Thrombos, too? And a lot of them. 6. Holy cow. Alright, I definitely will be Thrumbo hunting too. That is going to be some glorious combat clothes. You missed 100%. I'm embarrassed for you. Will I get away with not... Yep, not even an injury. And cluster's cleared. Ta-da! I probably didn't even need an aerodrone salvo. I don't think the aerodrone salvo was all that effective. The aerodrone salvo killed, like, a pikeman. Kind of a waste. It was still fun, but definitely a waste. Lifting the zone restrictions so we can get back to working on the power additions. I might as well have these guys start hauling some of this stuff out here. I haven't been yet paid for the quest, so there's still... I'm still waiting on the payment of plasteel. And I'm low on plasteel. My brawlers came back healthier than when they left the base. I know, right? It was such a not fight that I'm better off now than I was going into this mech cluster. They're happier too because they cleared the cluster. That's a bit of bonus. Brawlers. Or shooters, rather. You know, the other brawlers. Let's convene up here and clear some Thrumbo. Scorpio does need to leave before I get the quest completed. The other thing that I could do, now that I'm thinking about it, is to uninstall the bait beacon. No, it's going to be really annoying to do that. I'm just going to have to haul the plasteel. That's fine. I was going to say to uninstall the bait beacon and then have the plasteel land where I want it to land. But the problem with that is then I have to like reinstall every beacon in the correct door. It's kind of annoying in its own way. Nope, Slowane, you're gonna have a bit of a bad day here. I'm gonna skip you away. I like how Slowane didn't even miss a beat, just like kept hauling as if nothing happened. What? Come on, I'm not to blame. I am to blame, I know, but I don't care. Ugh, stupid pull out. There we go. crabs. Growth moment, you're kind. Chemical interest in kind. Definitely not turning out to be my favorite combinations, but suppose it could be worse. You could be Banish. Very hard to top Banish. Banish is in a league of his own as far as worthless, useless, crappy colonists go. If you don't remember, the reason I say that is Banish has all of the worst traits that one could imagine. Pyromaniac, Chemical Fascination, Gourmand. Name a worse colonist. I dare you. At least they're capable of work, I suppose. It could be worse if they had a backstory that didn't allow them to do work. But that's not even possible given that they're vat-grown, because vat-grown colonists will never have disabled work, because there aren't vat-grown origins that have disabled work for all work. So as far as vat-grown colonists go, you can't get worse than Banish. Banish is the floor. I don't know what the ceiling is yet. I haven't had like a ceiling vat-grown colonist, which is like someone glorious, but at least we know it doesn't get worse than that. This is funny. So Amtos shows up, they die, so they send another visitor. Did someone not learn a lesson? I'm gonna go with someone clearly did not learn a lesson. Ooh. Masterwork Locust Armor. Hey, Mass, you want that? I'll give that to you. You know what? Maybe prize it. Prize it, you get it. Sorry, Mass. Prize it's my, my dedicated sidecaster, so needs a little extra oomph in the armor. At this point, we don't have any big event quests pending, so it's a little open. I think what I'm going to do is ask you what to do. So expand egg extraction and breeding is one. Boss farming, ancient dangers is another. World sites, a major project, or viewer suggestions. So have you guys vote on the next big thing that Wendy undertakes. Or the next goal. Because there really isn't a goal right now. Except for expand the power grid. That would be the only thing that I've yet to do that I'm still working on. But that's not like the only other. So if you want me to raid another colony, that would be expanding egg extraction and breeding. Because, you know, that's what raiding another colony would be. So if you want that, vote 1. It's already on the poll. So the geothermal site is getting pretty close to being done. And if I put Wendy on construction, which she is now on construction, she'll work at that. And Wendy's holding a concert. She enjoyed killing people so much she wants to have a concert to celebrate the murder. I don't want to listen to the concert. I like my music. Also interesting, she's not attending her own concert. Not yet, at least. Scorpio's gone in 14 hours. I've kept him alive, and I've kept him pretty happy. Quite happy. I mean, he's in attendance in the concert, so if this is a concert that goes well, he's going to be ecstatic. Which would be really good for relations and honor and mood and all that jazz. Finish up with your harpsichord. Okay, taking on a major project. Well then, in terms of major projects, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to propose a few myself. So here's the major project poll. Oops, I missed an important text. Major project poll. So one would be to trade for shock lances to add prisoners. Another major project would be to ramp up xenogerm scanning. So that would be trading for slaves, really. But I'm going to actually take that one out. It's kind of hard to do. So another major project would be to add build a backup battery grid for brownouts. Another one would be to gestate mechs to fill bandwidth to 100%, or viewer suggestion. And I would open up the viewer suggestions inbox so that you suggest your own goals. So there you go. Those are some major projects. Scorpio, you are very happy. And you'll be out of here any minute. Oh, before I forget, let me call in my allies again. I might need to gift some stuff to them, though, because my, yeah, I'm gonna need a gift to Inalor, or to Emtas. Rep is very low. T-Sing's been working on making Loca's armor so much that he's running around collecting plasteel from the battlefield and starving himself. That's funny. Your dedication to your smithing is commendable. Your intelligence about how to go about smithing efficiently is embarrassing. Commendably embarrassing. Reorder the shelves in the stockpile? Yeah, I could do that. Some are empty. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't really care what gets in there so much. What I really need to do is just like dump steel out here and not let it in the stockpile, and that would help out a lot. These shelves are for textiles, and textiles fluctuate enough that I don't even want to change that about the stockpile. Just pushing steel out of here is going to be enough, I think. That'll free up a lot of space for other things. Did I get the massive reward yet? No. No, I get that in like 5 hours. 4 hours. Soon. Where is T-Sang anyway? Still working on the old plasteel, or the locust armor. Okay, backup battery grid for brownouts. So here's how I want to do that. It's going to be real simple. And this is how I would advise anyone else that wants a backup power grid to do it. So build your battery banks somewhere where you have them separated out from your actual grid. So let's go with 8 battery banks and a power switch. have this be a non-flammable door. That part's kind of important. And then I'm going to stick, a little larger, a solar panel in here. So the solar panel will passively keep these batteries up to 100% charge. Once they're removed from the power grid. So what I do is I'll initially have them hooked up so that the batteries fill full, and then when I disconnect them from the power switch, the solar panel, which will be hooked up like this, will keep the batteries at 100%. So if I ever have a brownout, I can just hook them back up. Maybe I'll even do more batteries. Just because anytime I usually have a power outage, it is a power outage where it hits me really bad, I guess. And by that I mean it's like a solar flare and I don't have power for a long, long time. So I would want something able to take a significant bulk of the load. So 16 full batteries is probably a lot of power. And then on top of that, I'll stick a fire foam popper in here, so if there's a fire in there, it gets poofed into foam. No problem. The current priority is expand power grid and add backup batteries. You guys have decided that that a robust grid is necessary. Oh, you're reminding me to do the roof again? That's funny. I was literally in the process of doing it. So many dead mechs. And here's the shuttle for Scorpio. Nice, good landing. Right in the middle of the colony, I like it. I mean, you kind of landed like very close to my antigrain warheads, but I'll overlook it. So this is the giant plasteel drop, plus L-Tex gear, potentially for Brizet. Which reminds me, I have a Masterwork rifle in there that I'm not even using. You know, it actually might be better just to have a wind. Just one wind turbine instead. I was just thinking about it. Wind even at 0 wind will still generate 92 watts, which keeps the power the batteries topped up. So I'm gonna stick a little wind Jenny in here instead. Same idea, though. Same concept. Hey, Van Deathheart. I didn't realize you... Oh, yeah, no, I knew you streamed. Welcome. Thank you for rating. You're playing Satisfactory today? How was it? Did it treat you well? I hope so. I'm going to probably relocate this if I'm using wind. Because there's just not really enough. So what I think I'll do is I'll use this wind turbine. And put it over here, which is a pretty natural place to have it. Unfortunately, it's like quite close to the kill box, but you know, whatever, I'll live dangerously. So I'll double wall this up here. No, that sucks because of the... All right, I'm going to put it over here anyway. I'm just going to have to carve out a better spot for it. Got to do it right. You're just getting back into it? Starting a new run? Cool. I've never really been one for the, those style games, factory assembly line games. I've explained a few times on stream, but I went to college for some of that. Production line management, that kind of stuff, as part of like industrial technology and Sigma 6 and OSHA and that kind of stuff. So it just reminds me of like college homework more than a video game. Different strokes for different folks. I'm not saying they're bad. I just don't care for them. Which is why you don't see a lot of Factorio or Station or Satisfactory on my channel. Or other games that feel like homework. Like Eve. Or, you know, whatever. Just not my style. Is there any games like that that have come out recently that you enjoy? It's like European Truck Driver when you playing a trucking simulator. Yeah. And you know, if that's for you, cool. So the only thing that I might need to do is, so here's the thing. If Rhadamant becomes a full-time sidecaster with a shield belt, I don't have necessarily the bandwidth for Diamond. So I think that's another thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to do a band node for Rhadamant. So that Rhadamant can ditch the bandwidth pack and use the shield belt instead. And it will be the first band node that I use. But because I am setting up a backup battery system, I don't have to worry about brownouts with a band node. That's one of the reasons why I haven't used band nodes. Band nodes can be very, very, very powerful if you have a robust power grid and you don't have to worry about like solar flares or any of that stuff. But if you do have to worry about that stuff, it's a real problem. So if you don't know, because I haven't used them yet, band nodes add bandwidth, but only so long as they are powered. So if they lose power, you lose the ability to control the mechs. And if you lose power for long enough, the mechs go berserk and they go rogue and they fight you or whatever. So band nodes are very, very useful to expand your bandwidth. But you know, it's a double-edged blade where if you rely too heavily on band nodes and then all of a sudden have a solar flare or some power shortage or a fire in your power grid or something like that, you can, you know, have all of your mechs sort of rebel, kind of like a slave rebellion. And it becomes somewhat uncontrolled and can be really dangerous, which is why I haven't bothered, because the risk wasn't worth it versus the reward for Wendy. Up until now. But if I only have one band node, it's a small risk. Or however many it takes to have him take off the bandwidth pack. I don't know what that number is. I could calculate it, but I'll be surprised instead. So I might be able to put the wind turbine here, which wouldn't be too bad. Well, if you were just streaming, I have a question for you. Were you running into issues with it today? Because I had a lot of issues a few hours ago. And recurring issues throughout the stream today. Was Twitch acting good for you? Or was it, well, you know, laggy? My lord, we're finding so many steel points. Jeez. So much steel. Wendigo goes, oh, we butchered human-like. Like, were you not aware of what colony you were in? We grew you from a vat. Of course we're going to butcher human-like. Kind of what we're about. So the other way the band nodes work is once you bind them to a specific mech, you tune them to a specific mechanitor, you can retune them, but it takes a while to retune them. It's a longer cooldown. So if I wanted to retune the first time, it's 5 seconds. The next time, it's 3 days. So it's also not, to retune band nodes like that, it's not something that you'll be able to do like on the fly quickly. And I still need one more node in order to get him off of the grid. I'm actually going to have this be like an airlock. Like an artful designed airlock with 2 band nodes in it. Just because I want it like that. Something to do. Oh, that's not even centered. It would help if I centered it. Why are they... Oh, these guys have medical emergency because of their lack of yayo. Alright, that's... They just hit 30 days, so I have plenty of time until that becomes critical and urgent. I don't think I'll use future nodes, but yeah, you're right. I do have room for expansion here if I want it. So this looks like it's the dimension of my battery backup. So I'll nest a wind turbine in here, which is, it fits perfectly. And then put my batteries under a roof here. And a switch there. Well, actually, no, this shouldn't be a switch. This should be deconstructed. So a switch should be something like here to the power cables. Switch can be outside of the facility. So maybe I should, before I jump that gun, wall it all up. Oh, actually, the other problem is if it's here, it can't be walled up because of the shared wind space. So I'll move it. It will be maybe like this, where then I can wall it up completely. So the battery, you know, unless pod drop raiders land on top of it, the typical pod drop raiders won't have access to the batteries. Got a little roof zone. There. It'll work. It'll be a little far to travel in order to get the power back online, but I don't think it's going to be too annoying. So something like a power switch here, where then that connects the backup grid to the main grid. And then all the batteries will be placed like that. And then I'll just put a wall around them, double walled in. So it's nice and snugly protected. Good little backup grid, I think. And we'll keep the batteries topped up at all times, and then I can always use them whenever I have solar or brownouts. I think having this get built too will help with brownouts as well. So that's still part of the expanding power grid. Now that that is all walled in, it's ready to go. I think most of the mechs have been hauled. Not too much of the plasteel, though. Approximately 0 of the plasteel's been hauled so far. A lot of masterwork corsets, though. I've been getting a lot of those masterwork notifications. Because most of my tailors that are working on them now have like 20 skill. Mass is 20, low is 20, T-Sync's 20. So, getting pretty lucky on qualities. Looks like T-Sang is trying to keep up, T-Sang low are trying to keep up with the component and advanced component need. But the need is going to go up and up and up as I build these batteries. Because batteries are really expensive in terms of components. Hi. Okay, browse it. Now can take off the bandwidth pack. So the purpose of that is having Browse be a dedicated sidecaster, meaning Browse will need a shield belt. So don't just put the bandwidth pack back on. Sandal lance for now is fine. But a shield belt so that, you know, if I need a shield belted sidecaster, you know, one that gets shot at by pikemen, lancers, etc., or tesserons even, because he'll, you know, he's not tinder skinned. That's the person. The bandwidth pack could go to low. No. Low already has one. As does mass. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the first Wendigo, which originally streamed live on Twitch April 2nd. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Wendigos,